What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Stonadge channel, and I hope we're all doing very, very well on this cold, wet and windy January midweek afternoon. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about some big news story in the media coming out today. Jurgen Klopp has said that Liverpool are in contact with Roberto Firmino about a new contract. Now, the Brazilian has been at Liverpool for 8 years, having arrived at the club in 2015 under Brendan Rodgers for £29.5 million, and has been and established himself as a club legend. He scored over 100 goals for Liverpool, including over 80 in the Premier League as well. So yeah, a player who will go down in history as one of Liverpool's all-time great goal scorers, great players, just a wonderful human being as well. But should they be giving him an extension on his career at Anfield? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 300 subscribers by the end of January. I think that's very doable. Make sure you hit that like button as well and share the video with all your friends and family. We do greatly appreciate it. So, Bobby Firmino, let's give it a little bit of a chat. So we are looking at a situation for Bobby Firmino where he is running out at the end of this season and could potentially leave on a free transfer. So we're looking at the pros and the cons of Firmino either leaving on a free or signing a new deal. So let's look at the pros of him leaving on a free. So realistically, Liverpool have just signed Cody Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven for £37 million, rising to 50. He's a player who can play in that central role. He can also play wide left and wide right if required, as well as in the 10 role. A role that Roberto Firmino has started to utilise more in his time towards the end of his career at Liverpool. He originally started out there, then became a false nine. The age of the false nine is sort of dying with the age of the explosive forwards coming through with Nunez, Haaland and the like. Victor Osimhen is another one. So yeah, Firmino's role is going to be usurped by Cody Gakpo, but having depth is never a bad idea. And we saw when we had injuries in certain areas, talking about midfield last season, central defence the season before that. This year we've had injuries all across the field. That having depth is very, very useful, and the depth in the form of an experienced forward might be useful. So, however, having a player like Roberto Firmino may halt the transition. He might not be able to accept being a squad player, especially as he's been so crucial over the last 8 years to everything successful about Liverpool Football Club. Another factor we have to put in is that he is one of the Reds' top scorers this season. In the Premier League, I believe he's still joint top scorer with Liverpool with Mo Salah. Maybe Salah's got one more now. So it's a difficult one. He's really come into form, better form than he has done across the last 2 seasons. I remember at the start of this campaign against Fulham, he was absolutely dreadful, and we were like, right, he's got to go, he's got to go. Now his performances have potentially earned him a new extension. So what are the other cons about giving him an extension this season? He's currently on £200,000 per week, reportedly. It's been reported 180 and 200,000. We'll go with 200 because I think that's probably more likely. We cannot afford to give a player of Roberto Firmino's stature within the club that amount of money. He would go down to the 6th choice forward, maybe 5th choice, and it would be a complete waste for the club when they've got other areas they need to address. Look at the midfield. I mean, look at it's an issue that we will continue to talk about on this channel. Do Liverpool need a midfielder? Of course they do. Maybe they'd have to lose Firmino in order to get him. Or them. We're talking him about Jude, right? And yeah, it would be sort of spiting. It would be a little bit strange if Liverpool did go and choose to give Firmino a new deal, especially on the same amount of money. What I think Klopp means, and this is the actual Klopp quote, is that Bobby knows my points. We are in discussions. I feel it means that they're talking about money. Roberto Firmino could go and earn money anywhere he wants. I've heard that Xavi at Barcelona is a big admirer of Bobby Firmino. There's rumours that he could go across to Saudi Arabia, which Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, has already done and set precedent for. So it's a difficult one for Firmino, whether he wants to prioritise that for his family, prioritise his footballing career. Well, realistically, will he ever play for Liverpool as a regular ever again? I don't think he will. Injuries preventing, of course. So would it be prioritising his career? I'd argue no by signing a contract. I think he's still got enough to offer at a top club. Maybe not the absolute elite, but he can definitely do it at the tier below, like a Newcastle, for example, or a Spurs even, at that sort of level. Not saying that either of those would sign him. So yeah, it's not really prioritising his career. It's not really prioritising money either, because I don't think Liverpool will ever agree to that sort of money for Firmino again. And it's the only thing it's really prioritising is Liverpool and the comfortability that Firmino has around Liverpool and potentially winning trophies. It's his best chance at winning trophies, if we're being honest. But he won't ever get the regular football ever again. So it's a real balance for Firmino. What does he do? What do we want him to do? I would say a large majority of Liverpool fans will want him to sign a new contract. And for me, it all depends on the terms. What terms is he being offered? Is it going to be an appearance bonus where he plays a certain amount of games and therefore he gets a payment bonus, which for me I think could be possible? Is he going to be on that ridiculous amount of money? I definitely don't think so. But if he was, then I'd be asking for him to be shipped out the door. It's such a moral question as well, because we're all looking forward to this new iteration of Liverpool and what Jurgen Klopp plans to do with the club now. I think there's a long-term vision. I don't think there's a medium-term vision as of yet. Is Firmino the right guy to look after Fabio Carvalho and teach him his ways to potentially Carvalho play a similar role in the future? Same with Harvey Elliott as well is another one. Cody Gakpo as well, who's just arrived, as I've mentioned. Maybe there's a tutoring form of it. Much like why I think Thiago was brought in. I think he was brought in to help the other young midfielders. We're now seeing the fluorescence of Stefan Bajcetic in the Liverpool midfield. And I think having players like Thiago, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson and James Milner will only help him in the future. But we have to be careful to make the transition for Liverpool not too rash, not too sharp, to make it gradual. And maybe having a player like Firmino here for another couple of seasons, especially while Jurgen Klopp is still at the club, is going to be something to be looked at as maybe it's something to be looked at as more of a gradual thing rather than over loyalty, because you know that he can still offer things. You know that he can still be this tutor to the likes of Carvalho and Bajcetic even, to teach them sort of the technical qualities and the way that Jurgen Klopp's system works. But yeah, it's a real moral question, a real moral dilemma about how much you love Bobby Firmino, you love Liverpool Football Club, but you want the club to progress. I personally would only give him a new deal if he was willing to accept his role as a bit part player and on reduced terms. The only thing is, will Firmino accept that? I don't think so. As I mentioned earlier, he won't be prioritising his career. He won't really be prioritising money. He's only really prioritising his comfortability in Anfield. And, well, probably the only thing he's prioritising is his family and being settled. And potentially that's what he values above all else. Maybe he doesn't want to go abroad and move to Saudi Arabia or to Spain or to Portugal or wherever he would go after his contract runs up. So yeah, it's a real difficult thing to try and decide for Firmino and to try and get in his head and what he believes, but also to sort of work it out by yourself. What we're looking at is a Liverpool legend, an absolute bona fide Liverpool legend there. It's sort of like trying to let go Sadio Mane. When he wanted to leave, it made things a lot easier, but being honest, he wasn't at his best until the sort of second half of last season, so he would have potentially been let go anyway. It's really hard. A Liverpool legend, Roberto Firmino. Will he stay on at the club? Let me know in the comments section below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will catch you very, very soon in the next video on this channel. Let me know any topics you'd like me to discuss. I'm going to do these sorts of videos on the channel, as well as the watch-alongs and news shows potentially as well, with guests and podcasts potentially as well. So yeah, I will chat to you very, very soon, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.